What's going on, you guys? It's Nico. I've been biting my tongue on commenting on the whole woke right. You guys don't want to talk about the woke right with the and the I'll even think woke right is the right term to use for it, but the fake MAGA shills, podcasters, Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, and everything, but the whole ridiculous drama of them staying relevant, and including the fact that them, Don Lemon's another one, including the fact that them being implanted into the independent media space on YouTube on purpose, probably in Don Lemon and Tucker Carlson's case, I think that's what it is, that they've been probably put into the independent space on YouTube by the mainstream media because nobody's watching mainstream media, but this whole thing with the fake outrage with this video game that came out a few days ago, and at this point I'm like, I have to comment on it because it's gotten so hilarious on how they say certain stuff just to trigger the algorithm on social media. With fake outrage, and you gotta laugh at it, but Mary Morgan, who works for Tim Pool, and which I believe Tim Pool is also another one too, for the fact that he sits up and pretends to act like he's a Trump supporter, but in reality he's just a Democrat. That was disguising himself as a Trump supporter the entire time, whether he voted for Trump or not. But Mary Morgan's also another one too. So her comment on this whole thing with this video game that came out, it says lots of strange reactions to this game. Let's clear some things up. Childless men do not have parental instincts the way childless women have maternal instincts. We observed this even the way little girls versus little boys. Men first experience paternal instincts once they have their own children. It's like, what? It's like, okay. So she's starting the conversation off with that automatically, men versus women. So, and this is a woman that claims to be a conservative Republican. So it's like, there's nothing conservative about this first statement at all. So the fact of that, again, another Democrat pretending to be a Republican. It says, men are not nurturers. Men don't gush over cute kids in public. Men don't have baby fever. If a man wants to possess a child for any reason other than it being the product of his own lineage, he is likely a predator. And you be taking the feminist, radical, gender abolitionist position to protest any of the above points. What? Either she just hates all men, or whatever issues she has with men in general, or she's just a really stupid person if she truly actually believes that. Come on, dude. It's like, what instinct do you think that the men have to want to have kids in the first place? For the fact of that, men are natural protectors. And so I'm gonna branch off from that and go to this real quick. Mr. H reviews on YouTube. Matter of fact, shout out to Mr. H reviews. You guys, go give him a follow, go watch his videos. His videos are really good, but listen to what he has to say about this.
But okay, let's continue then. Men first experience paternal instincts once they have their own children. No, not true. No, that's just simply not true. Hate to break it to you. That's simply not true. Any man will be able to tell you this is just simply not true. And you, being a woman, cannot tell us otherwise, funnily enough, because you don't have paternal instincts. You've got, presumably, maybe you've got maternal instincts. I don't know. But you're not a man. So you can't make that statement. You can't make that claim.
All right.
Not allowed, love. We can, but you just look like a dumbass. Anyway, and typically, those paternal instincts are only ever felt for their own children and no one else's. Yeah, again, that's just simply not true. It's just simply not true.
Right.
Simply false. Men are not nurturers. Are we not? Do men not nurture? What a weird take. What a truly bizarre thing to say. Men are not nurturers.
And that's, for a woman that claims to be a conservative, it's like, really? That's literally the beating drums that the radical leftist feminists, say online, and radical leftists in general too. I mean, it's not just leftist women. It's literally leftist men say the same crap too online. So let's continue.
Okay, then, I guess. Again, just simply the biggest pile of bollocks you've ever seen in your life. Anyway, continues further. Men don't gush over cute kids in public. I mean, by and large, no, you're probably on point there. By and large, men don't gush over kids in public. But that doesn't mean we're not nurturers. Men don't have baby fever. I guess you'd have to define it. Men do reach a certain age where they're like, I would like something more. I would like, something to impart my wisdom and knowledge upon.
Right. Men
a child. So, do they have baby fever? I guess to a degree. If a man wants to possess a child for any reason other than it being a product of his own lineage, he is likely a predator. Wow, we've just gone way off a fucking cliff here, haven't we? We're nosediving. We're nosediving off a cliff. Mary, there is no ladder I can get and chuck to you to get you out of this hole you're digging for yourself. That is mental. That is a mental take. If a man wants to possess a child for any reason other than it being a product of his own lineage, he is likely a predator.
It's like, what?
Mental.
Yep.
Actually mental. And you'd be taking the feminist, radical gender abolitionist position to protest any of the above points. No, you wouldn't. Men do have paternal instincts. Men do nurture.
Right.
Men do want to have children. You're fucking mental, love. What a sad, sorry existence you must have. This should explain why a dad simulator game marketed to mostly childless men gives people the creeps. Well, I don't know if the comments here still, but there were some images of you floating around looking a bit like a child, love, which looked a bit weird, and they're not in here, to be fair. Never mind. This woman, Mary, generally does dress a bit like sort of infantilizes herself, which is a bit weird. That's weird. Anyway,
right. Yeah,
she chimed in and says, to those denying biology here, would you hire a male babysitter? You meet your kid's kindergarten teacher and it's a dude. How do you feel about that? I want more male teachers, actually, retard.
Right.
The problem with schooling at the moment and the education system is it's too many women and they don't know how to handle men. Again, funnily enough, women, you don't actually understand men. Shocker, right? But actually, I want more men in teaching.
Yep.
There needs to be more men in teaching.
And I'll comment on that too. Like the other thing with with these kids in the schools is actually it starts at home too, with people and the parenting, and a lot of the parenting is so bad nowadays. Is that whether it's we need good teachers in general. You need male teachers and female teachers, but like he said, I mean that space is predominantly female owned. But the behavioral problems with most kids usually starts at home. If the parents aren't doing their job at home, then that's going to reflect on what's going on in the school. I mean, their kids can't teach themselves. That's the reality of it. At the end of the day, that's on the parents' job. But to also, shout out to HR Reviews, for that. You guys go give his video a like, or go watch his video. Some of his videos. His videos are really good. But like she says here, to those denying biology here, would I hire a male babysitter to meet your kid's kindergarten teacher? Pearl, for example, I would trust the male babysitter over a female one. I mean, really, Savvy. I know I never Savvy. Who's also with Geeks and Givers. I know I would never leave my child with you. You're too unstable, especially if it's a boy. I mean, I'll tell you, facts don't care about your feelings. Convert feminists. Really, too, because she got what's it called? Excuse me. What's it called? Reader's context. She got context labeled. What's it called on here on X? You know, they labeled her post basically saying like it's basically misinformation, that you know that there's no everything that Mary Morgan said is basically misinformation, which everybody knows that. There's a lot of people posting misinformation on social media now. You know, common stereotypes that the cop is attracted to narcissistic men seeking a power trip, but fewer people realize teacher is the same thing for women. Very true there too. For that, statistically speaking, I would rather have a male babysitter. Again, I said, what do women have that men don't have right to practice hate speech against half the human race? Is I mean, again, you know, you guys see she's getting, you know, dragged. She got dragged in the comments this whole time for it. But the reason why I bring all this up again is that this goes back to the fact of with these fake, and there truly are fake conservative, you know, influencers, you know, whether it's her, you know, Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, and that, you know, people, a lot of the stuff they're doing is for engagement, and a lot of the stuff that they're doing is to push an agenda, I believe, for the people on the left that are with the Democratic Party. And some of them, you know, are getting paid by the Democratic Party. You know, they're getting paid, you know, to, I believe, you know, push all this, you know, fake information on purpose, you know, or to act like they flipped on Trump, you know, and they, like, for example, you know, I mean, Candace Owens got praised by Ilhan Omar the other day, you know, for everything that she's doing. And it's like, really? I mean, ask yourself this question, you guys, is that, you know, what would be the best Trojan horse right now to try to pull voters away, especially younger people, than having a bunch of supposed supporters of Trump, you know, and people who got him elected, you know, flip on him all of a sudden just because they disagree, you know, with the military operation in Iran that's been conducted over the last month, or just, you know, disagree with him in general. It's one thing to disagree. I mean, you could disagree with President Trump as well. You could disagree with anybody. Nobody has to agree with everybody for that. But to actually go online or go on television and get paid money to say that you were a supporter of him, you know, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's another one, you know, in that, you know, to say that you're a supporter of him, and then to say that, oh, that's it, I'm not supporting him anymore because of blah, 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 blah. But you're getting paid to say that, though. So clearly, ask yourself this other question: who's paying all them to go on there and do all this, and now, and why? Of course, you know, this year with the midterms coming up, and with everything, and how, you know, the Democratic Party and the leftists are, you know, they're desperate to get back in control of everything and mess everything up. So ask yourself, who is paying them to do this right now? Clearly, it's the Democratic Party. And I mean, with this post of what she posted on here, this is a clear example of why you don't want them back in charge, because this is their mentality. This is how they think. I mean, for her to say all this right here, I mean, men first experience paternal instincts once they have their own children, and to basically lie about that, like, really? I mean, like, it's mental. It's like what Mr. HR Reviews just said. It's completely mental, for the fact that this is how they're thinking, though. I mean, they're laying off. They think, and this is why you don't want them back in charge. And so, because if they get back in charge, it's going to be nothing but chaos on a whole nother level that we haven't even seen yet before for everything. So anyway, I thought I'd share that with you guys. Yeah, hope you guys doing good. You guys stay safe. I'll see you guys in the next video too. Peace.